downing polygyny to cover up what you do in monogamy. That's a relatively common tactic. I mean, there's not a shortage of Johns for these tricks out here. Yeah, they're prostitutes, they're escorts, and there's jump downs, there's mistresses, all that. And that's much easier than marriage. Taking care of your responsibility as a man. Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Nazir, one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships and one of the co-authors of Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. Now, here's the deal. As part of our why men want or desire multiple wives series, I want to share something with you. You get the comments or those who say, you know what, well, my husband doesn't want another wife. Okay, cool. Let me let you know what I think about that in particular, because this is what I hear from those brothers who say, you know what, they don't want another wife. The first thing is they can't imagine having two headaches. They can't imagine having two headaches. That means their default feeling in their current marriage in monogamy is that this woman is a headache. I used to always wonder why they used to call women, or that's my ball and chain. Okay, or they say they had happy hour after work. So men would, instead of going directly home after work to get something to eat and everything, they'd stop at the bar for happy hour before it became not happy at home. Really interesting. Sad, actually, but it's what it is. But that's the first thing I get. You know what? I cannot imagine having two headaches or, more than one headache, basically. Then there's the next thing. Next thing is, look, man, that's too much work. I can appreciate a man's honesty there, because it is work. And it's not for every man. It's for the one who is at least twice the man, the one who's able to fulfill a number of different conditions and what I consider a man of value. However, I will let you know that men, normal testosterone levels are 10 times that of women's. So men's testosterone level, healthy, 10 times that of women's. With that being said, maybe he has low testosterone. All right, because that does deal with you being more assertive and aggressive and so on and so forth with certain traditional masculine qualities and traits. However, for the man who's telling the truth, and he's like, look, man, that's a lot of responsibility. That doesn't mean he doesn't desire it. That just means he's incapable of doing it and is not going to put that burden on himself. Then you have the other men who's like, look, I'm just monogamous by nature. I don't want polygamy, yada, 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 yada. One of those famous guys he made videos about it, talking down about polygamy and all this, and it's a racket. It's for men to just fulfill their lust and desires and blah, 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 blah.
There are men who feel like they should have multiple wives, just like the ancient Egyptian kings, even though they present-day janitors. And quite frankly, I don't care who did it in ancient Egyptian history. Polygamy is unfair as hell. It's bad enough as a woman, you gotta share a man most days, but to sign up for it for life, you're really drinking that Kool-Aid. And most of you dudes out here pushing this ain't enough man for one woman, let alone several.
What I'm saying it here now is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing.
So did Derrick Jaxn really cheat on his wife with 100 different women?
So he made a list of women to everything that he could recollect, and there was nearly 100 women on there. And so
you're talking about the 100, where you going back
that he
to?
wrote on the list.
Danae Jackson is done getting clowned and mocked because she got dumped by Derrick last year, and she is out for blood. She's now spilling a lot of tea about the type of person Derrick really is, and she is exposing him for being the biggest narcissist ever.
Yeah, all the females, downing polygyny to cover up what you do in monogamy. That's a relatively common tactic. I mean, there's not a shortage of Johns for these tricks out here. Yeah, they're prostitutes, they're escorts, and there's jump downs, there's mistresses, all that. And that's much easier than marriage. Taking care of your responsibility as a man. All right. Fulfilling your responsibilities for your pleasures. So yeah, when you look at polygyny, it absolutely provides far more benefits for women than men. And for those who think, oh, it's only just about sex, if that's the case, it's much easier to do the immoral thing, which is far more common and sadly acceptable in today's society, than marrying multiple women, giving them the honorable title as wife and fulfilling your role as husband. Chew on that for a minute. Chew on that for a minute. So you get the liars like the Derek Jacksons, or you have even the Kevin Samuels when he was around, when say, I'm not talking about polygamy. You go out there, if you're a high value man, you can go cheat and do whatever you want to do. Just don't bring your babies and diseases home. That was more of that's his philosophy. Where we're talking about something honorable, something that's moral. Now, whether or not you practice, monogamy or polygyny, we're about pro-moral. So that really doesn't matter. But I'm going to get to the crux of it and just be real with you. Most men, the vast majority, if I'm talking about 1,000 men I spoke to, 990 desire to be married to more than one woman. Many aren't able to do that, whether it's usually it's financial. Sometimes there are other things that are there, mentally or, other factors that are going on physically. But the reality is we desire this in us. It is what it is. The question is, what about those bums? I'm gonna call them bums. I have to say what it is. But you out there lying. Meanwhile, you got girlfriends, you got jump downs. Many people speak about it. They talk about the pastor or the deacon boys running through all the women in the church. This is no surprise. This is nothing new. And nor is it restricted to any specific religion. Yep, there are Muslim imams that are doing similar things. There are rabbis and different priests and so on that are doing things like that as well. Hey, it's show and tell time. You see this? I got this when I was traveling with my family, my wives, and my children over the last couple of years. This is really kind of a coat of arms, if you will, a coat of honor. See, this is how Turkish soldiers used to pretty much dress and be down, or the leadership did, and you really can't see it necessarily unless you look really close, has Arabic writing on it. Now, why am I talking about that? Am I trying to sell this? No, I'm not. This is mine. But what I am saying is that men used to be different. They used to go and strive and conquer and expand, all right? And it started with family. They had strong families. Many men had multiple wives. It's called polygamy. But today, even though it has a lot of answers for modern day problems, most have no idea what to do. So they cheat, they sneak around, they pay in, all kinds of crazy things, even though I believe men are polygynous by nature. With that being said, where can you learn about how to practice it in a healthy manner, where it's honorable? It raises the status of wives. It allows men to become more, as they should strive to be, more than twice the men. We need leaders. We need those who are serious about the family so that we can return to glory on whole nother levels, instead of just having things as remnants of the past. So if you want to learn more about polygyny, then go to polygamyroadmap.com. Read the roadmap, understand how you can become more than twice the man, or how your wives or wife can also be part of that legacy. Go, polygamyroadmap.com. Hope to see you there. Sound like peace. Positions of power being abused. There's the whole Me Too movement that went down with a whole lot of, men in power. Many of them married. Or do we need to really even go to the politicians? Whether it's Jesse Jackson with his kids, or John Edwards with his kids, or, Clinton, with his half-black son, or Bush with his half-black child. And, we can go on and on and on. But the fact of the matter is, when men go and they become these male feminists, like, oh, that's a misogynistic, or that's this and that. This one guy, Kevin Perth or Pitts or something like that. I posted a picture of my family at Eid celebrating our holiday. My wives were there, my children were there, stuff like that. Just a family picture. He's like, oh, how dare you try to tell your children that? He's something about this is like evil. How dare you try to tell your children that it's otherwise? Something so stupid and ridiculous. Stupid and ridiculous. Really? A man taking care of his family, raising them, being active in their family's lives, taking care of multiple wives, multiple children, all right, being an entrepreneur, doing all these types of things, right? Being very active in a society where 8 out of 10 households are ran by single mothers. And we already know the stats. So a single mother versus a single father even, where single mother, children, more likely to be promiscuous. Child is more likely to be incarcerated, be a drug addict, drop out of school. All right, the stats are not up there. The stats are not pretty in single mom households. Now, they have a lot to do with that based upon the person that they chose. There's personal responsibility that's there. And there's also personal responsibility of men that decide to leave and not do what they're supposed to do. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, polygyny is an ancient solution to a modern day problem. Whether that's for single mothers, divorcees, widows, or whether that's someone who's never been married before, but they want to be with a man of value. They want to be with someone who is on a higher level, and they appreciate their time. Like I said, I have 5 daughters I'm responsible for. 2 of them are married, 2 of them want monogamy, 3 of them actually want to practice polygyny. The challenge is finding a man that is a man of value in their age range that desire to practice polygyny and has the capability to do so. That's my struggle as a parent, not for this video. Nevertheless, that's what I feel when it comes to men who play this game and they can lie to their wives if they're not ready at a certain time. I remember brothers like, no, baby, I only have eyes for you and this and that, and so on and so forth. But he was just waiting to get his money up. Once he got his money up, then it was like, well, I thought you said, he was like, yeah, I said that. But now I want to have, another wife and I can afford it and everything else. That led to a whole bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, men are seduced by the eyes, women are seduced by your ears. That means you can't believe everything you hear. And it's actually okay to kind of coddle your emotions, your feelings at that time. Should you be feeling insecure or jealous or whatever it may be, as you work and you grow to become the man you need to be as a husband to be able to take care of that if that's something you decide to do and you want to do it in a dignified, noble manner. That being said, let me know your thoughts. What are some of the things that you've heard men say that who claim to be anti-polygyny? Again, that's what it really is. Being anti-polygyny is something different because we're not anti-monogamy. Again, we're simply pro-morals. But we're shining a light on something that's the solution for not only our society, community, our nation as a whole, but for men in general. All right, the death of the masculine man and you bringing this effeminate, weak, punk, non-attractive type men and putting them out there like that's what's up? Nah, not on my watch, man. It's not gonna happen. So with that being said, though, what I want you to do, let me know. Look, you watched the whole video, support what we're doing. You may or may not agree with what I'm saying. Look, I don't agree with myself from years ago. I don't agree with any other living human being 100% right now, nor do I expect you to agree 100% either. That would be foolish and naive on my part. However, I will ask you to leave in the comments. Anti-polygyny is crazy. Put anti-polygyny is crazy. And the only reason I want to say that is because being anti-polygyny means you're simply anti-marriage, because polygyny is only a form of marriage. So to me, that's crazy. And it's really oppressive to women. It's really oppressive to women by not allowing them to have or to marry a husband or to shun it or look down upon it or push them to the outskirts of society. Meanwhile, having girlfriends, jump downs, mistresses, we can go on and on and on, is normalized without any expectation of becoming wives. So many women are out there just placeholders, playing the role of wife, but she ain't a wife. You may be called wifey, but you ain't wifed. Know what I mean? All right, so put anti-polygyny is crazy. I look forward to sharing with you more in this series. Any questions, comments, concerns, post them below. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm Coach Nazir, the coach that helps people get their shift together. With that being said, Assalamu alaikum. Peace.